All right, so today we will continue with our reading reviews, and the essence of this review is to show you the strategies, and repeatedly you are going to see how the same strategy will give you the same results. Yes, the same strategy is giving you the same results on different passages. So you're having different passages, you're using the same strategy, you're getting the same results. Is that okay? And that's the essence of this reading, these reviews we're doing. We just finished looking at Cambridge 13 Test 1, right? And now we are going to Cambridge 13 Test 2. And we're going to look at some of those questions. Please make it engaging. If you have to ask questions, ask questions. If you have to contribute, contribute. Yeah, so please follow. Now, as a form of reminder, I will say also that the main strategy, the main thing about reading is your ability to engage with keywords. Yeah, the ability to engage with keywords. The moment you're able to find a particular keyword or its synonym and then find it, you get it in the question and then find it in the passage, you're most likely going to get your answers correctly. Like I always tell my offline students, I say, look, for IELTS, you don't need to do interpretations and analysis, because whatever is prone to interpretation is also prone to misinterpretation. Whatever is prone to understanding is prone to misunderstanding. All you need to do is, in addition to, of course, understanding, you must engage with keywords. Make sure that you find these keywords. The keywords will give you direction to the answer. I keep talking about keywords. And it can never be overemphasized. So because it is very important, right? So if you understand this simple logic, this simple strategy, the reading test will become as easy as it can get. Sincerely, it is very easy. So, all right. So quickly, we'll just look at this review. This is Cambridge 13 Test 2. For those of you that already have it, you can have the hard copy. You can look at it. I think this is page 40. So if you have the hard copy, if you do not have the hard copy, please do not fret. Follow the screen. Follow the screen. I'm going to use highlighters to foreground the words and all that. Okay. Now for Test 2, Cambridge 13, the first question type we have there is what we call notes. Very simple. We'll just go straight up. It's under the group called fill in the gap. So we'll be filling in the gap for this particular question, and then we'll just be very quick about it, and then we'll just see how the answers come to be, right? So like I've always said, the first thing you need to do, which is also the most important thing, is to study, to read the instruction. The instruction is very crucial, very important, right? The instruction will tell you the kind of question type you're dealing with. The instruction will tell you what you ought to do and how your answers are supposed to be. So pay attention to the instruction. All right. Now, the instruction here says, choose one word only from the passage for each answer, right? Choose one word only from the passage for each answer. Write your answers in boxes 1 to 9. Yes. Write your answer in boxes 1 to 9. And so we'll just look at number 1. First, of course, look at the heading. The heading is very important. The early history of cinnamon. So they're looking at the early history of what? Of cinnamon. It could really help you, right, to know where the question is coming from. So now first here we have biblical times. So we want to look for where to talk about biblical times in the passage. You see, we have not even looked at the passage to even know. We just know that the heading of the passage is bringing cinnamon to Europe. Bringing cinnamon to Europe. All right. And with this, we All right. Bringing cinnamon to Europe. Please, I will just quickly take a break. Okay. So we'll be looking at this passage now. And like I said, it's from Cambridge 13, test 2. Cambridge 13, test 2. Here they say biblical times added to dash. So we're quickly going to look for where they talk about Bible. Here we have Bible. So we read it. And here we also have biblical times. Quickly, it was known in the biblical times and is mentioned in several books of the Bible, both as an ingredient that was mixed with, all right, so added to, mixed with, right, oils. So yeah, so the best added to, so our answer here will be oils. Yeah, please follow me. Remember, like I said, for this particular question, you need to be very careful. You need to answer the question. You should write the words as it is written in the passage. Write the word as it is written in the passage. Okay. Used to show dash between people.
Right.
All right. Yes. Used to
I
show
think
dash
it's friendship,
between.
sir.
Yes.
Okay. So you're back.
Yes, I am. I am. All right. So yes. Okay. So now they said for anointing people's body and also as a token indicating. So indicating means to show, right? To indicate is to what? Is to show. So that's the keyword. So if that is the case, our answer will be friendship. So show friendship.
Yes. Yes.
Between people. All right, number 3, we have the ancient Rome, the keyword used for its sweet smell. At dash. All right, so we have ancient Rome. Here we have ancient Rome. Mourners attending funeral burnt cinnamon. And of course, they're talking about cinnamon here to create a pleasant scent. Okay, so that is the sweet smell that we saw. Used for its art. Okay, so attending. So attending tells us of a place. So our answer, our best answer will be funerals. Funerals. So we'll just have it here. Funerals. Funerals. Then quickly we say Middle Ages. So here we'll be looking at the Middle Ages, what they said. And added to food, especially meat, was an indication of a person's dash. Was an indication of a person's dash. Okay. So here we have Middle Ages. Europeans who could afford the spice used it to flavor food, particularly meat. So we have seen meat here, and to impress those around them with their ability to purchase and yeah, an expensive
I
condiment.
can't hear you, sir.
You can hear me? Ability
Yes,
to
sir.
purchase. Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
You can hear me now. All right, good. Okay, so at a banquet, a host would offer guests a plate with various spices piled up as a sign. Very good. So they said indication. So an indication is a sign, as a sign of a person of the wealth. So indication, sign, and so we have our answer here will be wealth. Wealth. All right. known as
can't
a
hear you. Wallahi.
you can't hear me, are you sure? Yeah, you can't hear me.
I think it's their network. It's very clear.
Yes, I even increased my volume. So it should be from your network. If you can't hear me, it should be from your network. All right. Okay, so known as a treatment for dash and other health problems. So we want to go and look for where they talk about health problems. All right, so yes, we have seen it here. They said a cure for various ailments such as indigestion. Very good. So they have mentioned indigestion here. So our best answer, known as a treatment for indigestion and other health problems. So our answer will be indigestion, right? Okay. Number 6, groan. So we are looking for a keyword groan. Let's talk about groan. Yes. Grown. Where did they grow it? Where did they talk about growing it? All right. Grown. All right. So keyword grown. Grown what? Grown in. So it's a place. So if it is a place, then here they say Arab merchants who closely guarded the secrets of the source of the spice from potential rivals. They took it from India. Yes. So grown in India, where it was grown. Aha. So you see, grown India. All right. So our answer that for that will be what? Will be India. So keyword grown, and then we find India. Right? Okay. So number 7 here they say merchants used dash to bring it to the Mediterranean, right? So we're looking for merchants. Where did they talk about merchants? Okay, I think looking closely, I have seen merchants. I have also seen Mediterranean. So they took from India where it was grown on camels. All right. So and they said merchants used. So the answer there for that one is camels, right? Camels. So we have camels here, and then here we will have camels. Camels. It's that simple. You see, you don't need to read so long. Arrived in the Mediterranean at dash. At dash. All right. Their journey ended when they reached. So reached is arrived. Reached is arrived. So where did they arrive? Arrived in the Mediterranean at dash. So our best answer will be Alexandria. Alexandria. So we have it there. Alexandria. Yeah. Alexandria. Alexandria. All right. Then here for number 9, they took it to. Okay. Traders. Traders took it to dash and sold it to destinations around Europe. So okay, so these keywords are very important. Yes, I can see Europe here. I can see Europe, so I can read around.
I think
Then I even see European. You said traders.
Venice.
So our best answer is Venice. Very good, thank you. You can see it there. Traders sailed there to purchase their supply of cinnamon. They brought it back to Venice.
To
Right?
Venice. Yes.
Very good. Back to Venice. Yeah, so our answer, all right. Our answer will be Venice. So you can see how we are able to get our answers just by identifying the keywords. All right, let's quickly head to the next question type. Oh, very interesting question type, and I'm happy it is the next one. And I'm sure many of us will also anticipate this particular question type. All right, so for this question type, it's called true, false, not given. We treated it in test one, and we are treating it again. Now, this is to show you that this question is one of the questions that is it is unlikely that it will not come out in your exam. Very unlikely. Yes. So in every 10 exams, it appears 9 times. It appears at least in 9 of them. So please, as much as you can, I need you to prepare hard for true, false, not given, as much as you can. Right? Okay. So let's quickly look at this. Like I explained before, true, false, not given gives you a statement. It gives you a statement, and all you need to do is to find out from the passage if the statement is either true, or it is false, or it is not given. And like I said the other time in our last class, I said that, oh, if the statement is true, that means all the keywords in the statement are found in the passage. If the statement is true, then all the keywords in the statement are found in the passage. If the statement is false, that means there is a contradiction. There is an opposing word or opposing expression in the statement, a word or a phrase that opposes what you have in the passage. If that is the case, then the answer will be what? False. So you're going to see it. Then if the statement is not given, what that means is that there is one or two words or expression in the statement that cannot be found in the passage. That means that one keyword cannot be found in the passage, right? Or the idea cannot be found in the passage. I further told you that when you have statements that have qualifiers, like most, more, only, you have such kind of statements, then the answer is most likely not given. Or when you have a statement that has a sort of comparison, where they compare this is bigger than this is longer than this, so there are superlatives and all that, then the answer is most likely, it may not automatically end up to be not given, but in that situation, in that instance, our best guess is what? Not given. Our best guess will be not given. All right, so let's quickly look at the practice before us. All right, true, false, not given. Like I said, as far as reading is concerned, we're dealing with keywords. Keywords will help you locate the answers faster. So let's quickly identify the keywords in this statement. The Portuguese keyword had control. They had control over the cinema trade in Ceylon throughout the 16th century. So whether you use 16th century or use Portuguese, you're most likely going to have your answers. And of course, we want to quickly look at what are we looking for? We're looking for Portuguese, right? So we just quickly, or 16th century, if we find any of that. All right, quickly, let us scan, because we already have the keywords. So, all right, I've seen the Portuguese. Yes, I've seen Portuguese trader, right? I have seen Ceylon. Okay, so but here they said 15th century. All right, so do we have where they talked about the 16th century? 16th century. All right, so you see in this place they said seeking the high profit promised by Portuguese traders arrived on the island of Ceylon in the Indian Ocean towards the end of the 15th century. So in this place, they are not talking about having control. And we did not see 16th century. You can quickly look down, but when you look down, you will see 16th century. And then you would also see Portuguese, right? You also see Portuguese. Then you will see the other keyword we underlined, which is what? Ceylon. Ceylon. All right. Now let's quickly read what they said. In 1518, of course, those of you that know how to count centuries, you also know that this is what? 16th century. The Portuguese built a fort on Ceylon, which enabled them to protect the island, so helping them to develop a monopoly. Oh, when they said somebody has developed a monopoly, what that means is that it is only the person. So the person had control over that market, over that thing, right? In the cinnamon trade and generate very high profit. So you see that all of the keywords we have underlined are found in that paragraph. We found Portuguese, we found control, we found Ceylon, we found 16th century, right? In fact, if you
from which paragraph, sir?
On the, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th paragraph, you will see that. On the 4th paragraph. On the 4th paragraph. So they had a monopoly, right? If you even look at the next sentence, in the late 16th century, for example, they enjoyed a 10-fold profit when shipping cinnamon over a journey of 8 days from Ceylon to India. So you see, throughout the 16th century, they had that control. So if we have seen all of our keywords, then our answer will be true. Okay, let's quickly look at number 11, right? Number 11. Now they talk about the Dutch. The Dutch took over the cinnamon trade, okay? Cinnamon trade from the Portuguese.
Sir, you have not heard the answer. Answer to number 10.
Number 10. I just showed you the answer. Number 10 is true. Yes, it's true. Number 10 is true. And I said it is true because all the keywords that have been highlighted, if you follow the screen, you will see the words that are, all of them are found. All of them are found within this paragraph. You can see it. And in the same context. It's not just that we find the keywords, but we find it in the same context. And so you see that our answer is what? True, because the statement agrees with what they said here. In the 15th century, the Portuguese built a fort on Ceylon, which enabled them to protect the island. So helping them to develop a monopoly in the cinnamon trade. And I explained that monopoly here, when somebody has monopoly over a market, then the person has control over that market. So that's why our answer is true. All right, number 11. The Dutch took over the cinnamon trade from the Portuguese as soon as they arrived. Oh, very good. As soon as they arrived in Ceylon. All right, let's look for the Dutch. All right, in the next paragraph, we'll find the Dutch. Now they say, when the Dutch arrived off the coast of Southern Asia, at the very beginning of the 17th century, they set their sights on displacing the Portuguese. So we haven't found it as kings of cinnamon. They set their sights at displacing, okay? The Dutch allied themselves with Kandy, an inland kingdom in Ceylon, in return for payment of elephant and cinnamon. They protected the native king from the Portuguese. By 1640, the Dutch broke the 150-year Portuguese monopoly when they overran and occupied their factories. By 1658, they had permanently expelled the Portuguese. So now, if you look at the trajectory, if you look at the story, you will notice something. All of the keywords are there except something. There is a contradiction here. The Dutch, we found the Dutch, we saw that the Dutch took over the cinnamon from the Portuguese. We also saw it. But what is the contradiction here in this statement? Is anybody following? Can you quickly just tell me, what do you think is the contradiction in that statement? Thank you very much. As soon as. So you see, this word, this expression, as soon as. Because if you read that statement, it was not as soon as they arrived. So you see, when they arrived the coast of the Southern Asia at the beginning of the 17th century, the first thing, of course, they set sight, they wanted to displace the Portuguese, right? But the first thing they did was to ally themselves with Kandy, and so the first thing they did was not to displace them. And then it took them some time before they were able to break that monopoly. So because there is a contradiction, it was not as soon as, it took some time. The answer for that question will then be what? Be false. Please take notes. Take notes. All right. Number 12. The trees planted by the Dutch. All right. So we're looking at the trees planted by the Dutch.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
I can hear
Bola,
you.
I can't hear you, sir.
Hello, sir.
Sincerely, I can hear you clearly.
I've not
I
been
can hear you
getting
clearly.
anything.
Yes, I can hear you
Hello?
clearly. It will be from your network. Yeah? Yes. Hello? I can hear you, sir. I can hear you, ma'am. Hello?
Hello, sir.
I can hear you, ma'am.
All right. Concerning the as soon as in the
Yes.
in the question, is it not the same thing
Yes.
at the very beginning?
At the very
In
beginning,
paragraph there.
let's see. Let's look at it again. Where is it? Where do we? Okay.
In the
Now
first
look at
line.
it. At the, yes, they said they arrived. At the very beginning there, it tells us of when they arrived. You understand? When the Dutch arrived off the coast of Southern Asia at the very beginning of the 17th century. So that was not when they displaced the Portuguese. The thing is, they told us this at the very beginning here, tells us of when they arrived.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. Any other question? Okay. All right. So we'll continue. Okay. So we say the trees planted by the Dutch produce larger quantities of cinnamon than the white tree. So you see, this is a very good example of a particular question where I could say my best guess. If I'm to guess this question, I'm going to guess it to be not given. Why did I say that? Because there is a comparison. Yeah, I told you that most times when there's a comparison, then our best guess. The answer, I did not say the answer is not given. I'm only saying that the best guess will be not given. But let's see if there is a comparison between larger quantities of cinnamon and when they made such kind of comparisons. All right. So let's quickly locate it. Yeah, where did they talk about trees? Trees. They talk about trees. Did they talk about trees? All right, cinnamon trees. I can see cinnamon trees here. All right, you can see cinnamon trees. All right, then there is also wide trees here. Okay, let's see. Over time, the supply of cinnamon trees on the island became nearly exhausted due to systematic stripping of the bark. Eventually, the Dutch began cultivating their own cinnamon trees to supplement the diminishing number of wide trees available for use. All right, so here they said the trees planted by Dutch produced larger quantities of cinnamon. So they didn't tell us of larger quantities of cinnamon, yes, than the white trees. So there was never a comparison between which of the trees produce more quantities of cinnamon. What they told us is that eventually the Dutch began cultivating their own cinnamon to supplement the diminishing number of white trees, not the production. So because of that, our answer is not given. So if you say the answer is not given, so Mr. Miracle, what did you not see? I did not see this expression. Larger quantities, produce larger quantities of cinnamon. I did not see this expression within that statement. Like I told you, not given, an answer will be not given when an information or a word from the statement is not in the what? In the passage. So we will just write not given. All right. Then number 13. The spice trade maintained its economic importance during the 19th century. A good keyword would be the 19th century or spice trade, right? So let's quickly look at that. Here they talk about, this is the 18th century, and here we have the 19th century. By the middle of the 19th century, production of cinnamon reached 1,000 tons a year after a lower grade quality of the spice became accepted to European taste. By that time, cinnamon was being grown in other parts of the Indian Ocean region and in the West Indies, Brazil, and Guyana. Not only was a monopoly of cinnamon becoming impossible, but the spice trade, yes, here, so we have spice trade now, overall was diminishing in economic potential. So here they said the spice trade maintained its economic importance, but here they said what? It was diminishing. So if that is the case, this is a contradiction, a clear contradiction. Answer will be false. So you can clearly see how the keywords have been able to help us get the answer. Now, please take note. I want us to particularly do this anytime we treat true, false, not given. I'm going to make this statement. The difference between not given and false, because for most test takers, the major challenge is between identifying not given answers and answers that are false. But now this is a good time for you to take note of it. Look at the keywords. If you look at why we got false, not given, if you look at why we got not given, you will notice that there is an expression that we did not find. It's not that we found the opposite of that expression, but we couldn't see it. Produce large quantities of cinnamon. We didn't see we didn't see produce larger quantities of cinnamon than any other thing. We didn't see that comparison in the statement. But if you look at the one that we got false, we saw an opposite. The last question says the spice trade maintained its economic importance during the 19th century, while the passage says that the spice trade was overall diminishing. When something diminishes, then it contradicts maintained. So when it diminishes, it doesn't maintain. So that's why the answer is false. So take note of how we are able to get false. The difference between false and not given. Right? Very, very important. So all you need to do is pay attention to the keywords. Which keywords agree? Which keywords disagree? Okay, so for this next passage, we're looking at the passage starts off with matching information, number 14 to 17, right? Matching information. It's called and like I said before, you want to do well, you want to pass your IELTS test, you want to get the answers correctly. The first thing is read your instructions. Very important. All right, so reading passage 2 has 6 paragraphs, A to F. Which paragraph contains the following information? All right, so we are going to match information. We're going to make sure that we have the information right. Write the correct letter A to F in boxes 14 to 17 on your answer sheets. Notes. You may use any letter more than once. Now, like I've said, whenever this matching information question has this instruction, the instruction that says that you may use any letter more than once, note that there must be one or two questions that will carry the same letter. That means two of the information list here between 14 and 17 will be contained in one paragraph. Of course, like you know, your job in this particular test is to match the information here with the appropriate paragraph. So what they are simply asking you is which paragraph carries or has this information. That's what they are asking. And like our manner is, we'll be looking at keywords. The keywords will help us. The keywords will give us a guide to the information. All right. So let's quickly head to the passage. Let's quickly head to the passage. First of all, like we know, we have to read. We have to identify our keywords, right? We have to identify our keywords, and we'll be really fast about it because for this particular one also, if care is not taken, it will consume your time. So you just need to skim and scan, especially. All right, reference to research showing the beneficial effect of oxytocin on people. All right, quickly, let's look at where they talk about research.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. You have
Yes.
not changed it to the screen, no?
Yes?
I said you have not changed it on the screen. It's not displayed on the screen.
It is displayed on the screen, ma.
No, it's not the one, no. It's not the one you are reading that was displayed.
Which one are you seeing?
The previous one. The Portuguese.
Is that what it is?
Yes, the Portuguese.
The Portuguese. All right, so okay, maybe what I'll do is I will stop sharing. Let me stop the recording first. Okay. All right, so we'll just now, like I said, keywords. Let's pay attention to our keywords. Yes, reference to research showing the beneficial effects of oxytocin on people. So keyword research. We're looking for something that has to do with research. And of course, we're also looking for beneficial effects. A word that represents research could also be could be study or what have you, right? and beneficial. All right, so we'll go line by line, and okay, various studies focusing on animals that scientists first became aware of the influence of. So here we see studies here, but how about beneficial? All right, so if we don't see beneficial, then we just move, right? So we must see all the keywords for us to say that this is our answer. And then here they say on people. So let's not forget that. All right, here various studies focusing on animals. This one is on animals. All right, so here in this last sentence, they say a new wave of studies have shown that its effects vary greatly depending on the person and the circumstance, and it can impact on our social interaction for worse as well as for better. So here actually talks about the effects on people, but it doesn't tell us of beneficial. It's just telling us that it can have effects, right? So let's see B. What can we find? Okay, so we see research here, and then we see effects. The study was the start of a research into the effects of oxytocin on human interaction. On human interaction. And then here they even say people become more charitable, better at reading emotions. So this is beneficial, isn't it? They said on other phases and at communicating constructively in argument. So all these things, then they even talk about positive aspects. As you know, it has a positive aspect. So what that tells us clearly is that number 14, the information is located in paragraph B. So let's look at number 15. Number 15 says reasons why the effects of oxytocin are complex. Reasons. So this place will give us reasons why effects of oxytocin, line by line. Why do we find effects? And complex, of course. Complex effects. So we look at here it says contrasting outcome. No. Effects on people. All right, so okay.
Last paragraph.
Let's look at the question again. Reasons why the effects of oxytocin are complex. All right, okay, so I've seen something here. I've seen perplexing. Perhaps we should not be surprised that the oxytocin story has become more perplexing. That means has become more confusing, yeah? The hormone is found in everything from octopuses to sheep, and its evolutionary roots stretch back 500 million years. It's a very simple and ancient molecule that has been co-opted for many different functions, says to Carter at the University of
Sir,
Illinois.
what about C?
Yeah?
Hello, sir. Paragraph
Yes?
C is like oxytocin effect was written there.
Where? Paragraph C.
C.
Did you say
Yes.
paragraph C?
First.
Okay, let's look at it.
C.
Let's look at it. Which line? What line?
First line.
Yes. Paragraph C, first line.
I mean D, paragraph G, first line.
G. Okay. Okay, D.
Hello, sir.
Paragraph D, right?
Paragraph
Oxytocin
G.
effect. Yeah.
After C, paragraph G.
Yes.
Yes.
Oxytocin effect. The effects of other complex. Okay, how about complex? Another discovery is that oxytocin effects vary depending on who we are interacting with. So it doesn't tell us anything about being complex. But if you go to that F, perhaps we should not be surprised that the oxytocin story has become more perplexing. In fact, perplexing there more has to do with confusing, more difficult, or yeah, something that is strange. And then he goes on to say that, sorry, here there is also the many effects. Yeah. So he said the hormone is found in everything. It is a very simple Asian molecule that has been co-opted for many different functions. Says Sukata at the University of Illinois, Chicago, USA. It affects primitive parts of the brain like the amygdala, as it's going to have many effects. So is that on just about everything? Bart agrees. Oxytocin probably does some very basic things, but once you add our higher order thinking and social situation, these basic processes could manifest in different ways depending on individual differences and context. So here you can see them giving reasons why the effects of oxytocin are what complex. And in fact, the last sentence has rightly answered it. Oxytocin probably does some very basic things. But once you add our higher order thinking and social situations, these basic processes could manifest in different ways depending on individual differences and what context. Now, so F is the most appropriate answer. If you look at the first sentence, perhaps we should not be surprised that the oxytocin story has become more perplexing. More perplexing. Perplexing has to do with confusing, right? And that means that it is what complex. Now look at number 16. Mention of a period in which oxytocin, okay, a period in which oxytocin attracted little scientific attention. Okay, let me quickly write the answer to paragraph number
Sir,
15.
please.
That's
I
paragraph
didn't
F.
hear that
Yes,
of question 15.
yes. You didn't hear it at all.
What is the answer,
The
sir?
answer is F. F, F, F.
F
Yes,
for 15.
yes. And I explained.
All
I
right.
said, look at the word perplexing. Perplexing. If you check the word perplexing, when something is uh, perplexing, has to do with a puzzle. When something is difficult in a way.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
And then here they said complex. So that's but you see that paragraph D, they tell us of the effect of oxytocin, but they did not tell us of the complexity. Are
Okay.
you following me? Okay, let's look at number
All right,
16.
sir.
Mention of a period in which oxytocin attracted little scientific attention. A period in which, so let's look at let's see if we can just, okay, F, oh, the last paragraph is F. So we'll go back to paragraph A again to see if they mentioned a period. Remember, a period in which oxytocin attracted little scientific attention. A doesn't tell us of a period. B, all right. Okay, let's look at this. What did they say in B? They said oxytocin role in human behavior first emerged in 2005 in a groundbreaking experiment. Marcus Henrich and his colleagues at the University of Freiburg, Germany, asked volunteers to do an activity in which they could invest money with an anonymous person who was not guaranteed to be honest. The team found that participants who had sniffed oxytocin via a nasal spray beforehand invested more money than those who received a placebo instead. The study was the start, okay, very good, of research into the effect of oxytocin on human interaction. For 8 years, it was quite a lonesome field. When they say something is lonesome, that means nobody is, no, it like it's lone has to do with alone. That's it's a single individual, right? And so that is very synonymous with not attracting little scientific attention. That means they didn't have so many people around the field. So with that, our answer for this one should be what? Should be B. All right, finally, let's look at number 17. B.
B or D?
B for bat, like B for book.
All right. All right,
Yes.
sir. All right, sir.
Yes. So,
Yes,
and
sir.
we have identified the answer as lonesome, as B because of this word lonesome, and which of course you can see it here, attracted little scientific attention. I explained that lonesome means has the attribute of being alone. All right, number 17, reference to people ignoring certain aspects of their research data. People ignoring certain aspects of their research data. Okay, so let's continue. Paragraph C. Do we see anything that tells us of ignore? Ignore, but it doesn't have even data. Paragraph D. Okay. Line by line, I don't think I see anything that has to do with ignoring. Oh, okay. I've seen it. Took no notice. I saw took no notice of such findings. Okay, so they say where once researchers took no notice of such findings, now a more nuanced understanding of oxytocin effect is propelling investigation down the new line. So to take no notice means to ignore. So our best answer will be E. Our best answer will be E. All right. Now, so you would notice how that I'm able to get my answers with just identifying what keywords from the question in the passage, right? So like I've always said, this is a simple strategy that you can apply to your reading any time, any day you take practice. All you need to do is to make sure that you remember keywords. Remember that those keywords could have synonyms, and the synonyms could make up their answers. And then all you need to do also when you want as technique of reading is to skim, to scan, and to read closely. All right, our time is fast spent already. A lot of us are already tired. Can I get questions briefly?
Thank you very much, Mr. Miracle.
All right.
I
Thank you.
just want to understand something. For this question type, when we see just one keyword, we must not see all the keywords. Just one keyword can push us to the answer, right?
Yeah. Now, for most IELTS questions, one keyword cannot push you because sometimes you could see that one keyword repeated in different questions, in different paragraphs. I want to give you an instance. Reasons why the effects of auxiliary are complex. So if for instance we go and pick only effects, effect is a keyword. You will see effects appearing in different places, but you should see something that tells you of effect, oxytocin, and in fact, oxytocin is not a keyword in this thing, because almost you should expect that every passage will talk about oxytocin. So you should see effect, and then you should see complex for you to say that this is what my answer. Now you could see complex somewhere else, but it's not talking about the effect. That's why it is dangerous to just use one keyword to make up your answers. You see that for most of our answers, we're able to see all of the keywords, right? If you even look at even this one talks about research data. This talks about their research data. So that means we're able to see this keyword for us to say that that was what our answer. Is that clear?
Yes, Mr. Miracle.
All right. Any other question? All right. Thank you very much. At this point, we will close the class, and we'll cut the curtain here, and then expect. All right. Yes. Yes, I can hear you. All right. Very good. Of course, I'm going to give assignments. I won't forget.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that reminder. Yes, but we'll cut the curtain on this at this point, and then our assignment is a simple one, right? You all have, yes.
On that list of an idea, I don't understand the assignment you gave us yesterday. When I did
Yes, I can't hear you.
I said the assignment you gave us yesterday.
Yes.
When I practiced it, I didn't get the answer very well at all. So I still need more explanation on a list of idea.
All right.
You gave us one
Very
assignment
good.
yesterday.
Yes, I did.
What I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't understand it. I want more explanation. Maybe in the next class, you
All
will
right.
explain it
It's
better.
not okay. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Thank you.
Yes, that will be done. That will be done. But before I say something about that, I'm going to respond to that now. Before I say something about that, please take note of the assignment. Now we have the other questions 18 to 40. We have the other questions 18 to 40. All I need you to do for me is attempt Cambridge 13 test 2, number 18 to 40. Make an attempt at these questions and then respond to me. Look at it. It's all there. Cambridge 13 test 2, number 18 to 40. Give yourself the time and
is it 14 or 40, sir?
18 to 40, number 18 to 40. This is 18. Here we have number
All right.
18 till 40. 40 is somewhere
All
here.
right.
Yes, I'll just show you. Yes, and so we have this is here is 40. So 18
Okay.
to 40. Yes. So you should
Okay,
you should
sir.
end at page 50. All right. So that should make up our assignment.